Hello everyone, welcome to Global Online. Here we are with our next video series for marathon, that is for UGC NET preparation for 2023 batch for the upcoming examination. And today we are going to see the marathon on the topic research aptitude, where we'll be taking quick revision series with explanation. For this we have already completed the unit of teaching aptitude. We have completed the topic of communication. Today we'll be taking research aptitude questions which will be based on the entire syllabus. Before we start with our session, let's have a quick look at what does Global Online has to offer you with respect to the study material for paper 2. So for paper 2, these are the following subjects which we have with us with respect to your paper 2. So you can see the list of the subjects on the screen. You can even see the contact details on the screen in order to get the copy for yourself. It will be consisting of MCQs for paper 2 as well as it will be consisting of notes for paper 2. The fees is rupees 1600. Right now we have a 20% off going on. So you will be getting this paper 2 for 1280. If you are looking something for paper 1 as a quick form of revision, so yes, we have a quick revision PDF for paper 1, which will be consisting of 2000 plus MCQs, which are including updated MCQs, current affairs, short notes, previous year question papers, as well as most repeated questions, which will be costing you rupees 699. In order to get your copy or in order to avail the facility of the same, you can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number. If you have doubt, query, any concerns, you can please get in touch with us on the same numbers. Apart from the same time, the channel is running, previous year question papers for 22 and 21. You can watch those videos also. And now without delaying further, we will start with our MCQ series marathon for research aptitude.
With controlled among variables, that is independent, moderator and dependent variable is called as what? So is it called as ex post facto method? Is it called as survey method? Is it called as the case study method? Or is it called as experimental method? I'll read out the question once again for you. It is asking you to talk about a research method which focuses on causal relationship within the variable. So this is the second half of the question, is just to confuse you. Basically the main part of the question is which research method focuses on establishing the causal relationship. Yes, Divya, Tanushri, very good morning. Bit sorry for my voice, this throat is not yet clear, but I hope you can hear me very clearly and you can respond to the questions given below. Sorry. So yes, we are talking about the research method which focuses on causal relationship. So whether it is ex post facto method, whether it is survey method, whether it is case study method, or whether it is experimental method. So waiting for the answers, everyone. I hope question is very clear. Till the time the question is reflected on the screen, I have read the question for you all. So basically the research method which focuses on establishing the relationship. So it's basically talking about the research method which focuses on establishing the relationship is called as what? Is it ex post facto method? Is it survey method? Is it case study method? Or is it experimental method? So let's come to the answer for this. So basically when we talk about the causal relationship, okay, among the variables, as I said, this is just to confuse you all. So causal methods which talks about controlling the relationship with the variables or among the variables is basically called as what? Is called as experimental method. So let's so as you all know that in experimental method we have a relationship, that is we see a causal relationship irrespective whether it is a dependent variable, independent variable, or a moderate variable. Yes, very good, Shrinu. Coming to question number 2 now, everyone. Now question number, yes, 1D, very correct. Going to question number two. Now question number 2 is basically the characteristics features of research, that is quantitative research paradigm. So we are supposed to find out quantitative research. So what are the characteristics for quantitative research? Whether it is hypothetical deductive, whether it is focused on natural setting, whether it is generalizations, whether it is numeric data, or whether it is literature review, playing a literature review. So which basically talks about, from the given list they have given you various options. From these options you have to tell that which are the features of quantitative research. Okay, you have to highlight a quantitative research paradigm. Yes, I'll just wait for everyone to come to the answer. Yes, okay, Aditya has answered. Aditya, it's question number, just put the question number properly. Yes, it will be easier for me to understand and explain you properly which question we are talking about. Yes, so talking about the features, the characteristic features of quantitative paradigm or quantitative research. So it comes to what? It's option number A. So when we talk about quantitative research, it is hypothetic deductive. It is the one which lays stress on generalization, that is the statement. It is the one which emphasizes numeric data. Okay, now any student who is not clear, we have done hypothetic deductive analysis. We have done even what is meant by what is exactly called as quantitative research paradigm. But still, if you are not able to understand, I will explain you what is meaning of hypothetico deductive. It means that it is a method, it's a procedure for the construction of scientific theory where the results are obtained with the direct observation, or you can say with the direct experimentation, that will give you interferences, or it will predict or verify your live evidences, that is called as empirical evidences. So direct observation which happens with the help of the statements and the numerical data will be a part of what? Will be a part of your quantitative research. So hence, from the given characteristics, so whatever characteristics are reflected on the screen, hypothetical deductive characteristics, generalizations and numeric data is a part of what? Your quantitative research. Tanushri, 2D, under 2D, literature review plays a minor role. No, it is basically not about qualitative or quantitative research. It depends upon what is your study. Based on that, you will try to analyze the role of literature review. So here we have a very clear understanding. It's basically about what? It's basically about quantitative research. So it lays a stress on generalizations. It is something which is directly observed and interfered. It means inferences, conclusions are given, sorry. And it is something which is emphasizing on numeric data. Question number 2, be careful. Question number 2D is not the right option. Question number 2A is the right option. Okay, be careful everyone. I've explained you the meaning also. Now, a very easy question. Question number 3. Question number 3 talks about, for advancing knowledge, the latest strategy which is used by mankind. So in order to advance the knowledge, which is the latest strategy which is used by the mankind, whether it is consulting, deductive thinking, scientific thinking, or is it inductive thinking. So when we talk about advancing the knowledge, which is the latest strategy which is used by the mankind, so whether it is consulting, whether it is deductive thinking, whether it is scientific thinking, or whether it is inductive thinking. Yes, question number 3, everyone on the screen. Waiting for, see, it's very easy question. Just read the question very carefully. It is talking about what? Advancing knowledge. So if we want to advance the knowledge, which is the strategy which will be used by the mankind? So whether it will be a consulting, deductive thinking, whether it will be a scientific thinking, or whether it will be inductive thinking. Which type of knowledge, advancing knowledge, will be a part of your strategy, latest strategy. Question number 3, everyone. Whether it is advanced, for advancing knowledge, the latest strategy used will be what? Consulting, deductive, scientific, or inductive. So yes, coming to question number 3. Okay, so when we are talking about advancing knowledge, the latest strategy which will be used will be called as what? Will be called as scientific thinking. So it will be known as what? It will be known as scientific thinking. The right answer here will be scientific thinking, that is option number C. Okay. Okay, coming to question number 4 now. I hope everyone is able to hear clearly and understand. Okay, going to option number question number 4. So question number 4 talks about research ethics that has a direct connection more often with which stages of research. So basically we are talking about what? We are talking about research ethics has a direct connection with which stage of research. So whether it is defining and delimiting the scope of research, defining the population, problem formulation, or deciding about statistical techniques. So which type of stage has a connection with research ethics? So when we talk about research ethics, which stage has a direct connection? So options given are, it's defining and delimiting the scope, defining the population, problem formulation, or about deciding the statistical technique. So which among them has a direct connection with research ethics? So you know what is basically research ethics? It is the understanding between the code of research, what needs to be done or what's not need to be done. Okay, so question number 4, let's see. Under research ethics, so we have seen all the stages. So which stage will be having a direct connection? So when it comes to research ethic, the stage which has a direct connection with research is the problem formulation and reporting the research finding. So this is the stage basically which has a direct connection of research, that is, which has a direct connection with research ethics. It means the code of research which needs to be followed by the researcher, or which needs to be followed in order to do a research. So the right answer is research for problem formulation and reporting of research finding. Okay, yes. Coming to question number 5, everyone. Now just make sure that you're reading the question properly, you're coming to the answer correctly, and you're understanding the explanation also. Okay, coming to question number 5. Question number 5 says that which of the following is not a critical feature of qualitative research? So we are talking about what? We are talking about not a feature. So they have given the features. Out of this, one is not a feature of qualitative research. So it's like actual settings are the direct source of data. Data take forms of words or pictures. Seeking to establish relationship among the measured social facts, or research becomes immersed in the situation, present or past, related to phenomena. Yes, everyone. Yes, very good. Answers are coming. So we are moving towards question number 5. Question number 5 talks about which of the following is not the critical feature of qualitative research. So the one which is not a part of qualitative research. So it's you have to tell the point which is not a part of qualitative research. So is it the actual settings? Is it the data? It says the establishing the relationship, or research becomes immersed in the situation, present, past, or the past related phenomena. So which exactly talks about, not a critical feature. From the list, we have to talk about the one which is not the critical feature. Okay, coming to question number 5, the right answer is the one which is not the critical feature of qualitative research is the one which established the relationship among the social facts. So this does not falls under the criteria of research feature of qualitative research. So we have done very well qualitative research, quantitative research. So this is the one which does not comes under what? Which does not comes under the feature of qualitative research. Is it clear? Okay. Going to question number 6. Now question number 6, Aditya, question number 5, we have just seen that it's not about research immersed in the situation, but it is about establishing the relationship among the facts. Okay, so be careful. Coming to question number 6, question number 6 talks about a positive correlation is present when. So when can we see the positive correlation? When the variable moves in the opposite direction, when the variable moves in the same direction, when the one variable goes up, another goes, one goes up and another goes down, maybe opposite direction, and that the variables never change. So where exactly can we find the opposite positive, where can we find the positive correlation? We are talking about what? We are talking about the correlation, positive correlation. So where can we see this positive correlation? Yes, waiting for the answer, everyone. Where is positive correlation experienced? Options are given below. I have read all the options. You can just once read the option and come to the answer. Okay, for question number 6, what is positive correlation? Let's see. So positive correlation is the one where both the variables moves in the same direction. So we have no, Shrinu, positive correlation is in the same direction, same. Okay, so when we talk about negative correlation is the one where the two variables, one, it means is in opposite direction, one is increasing, one is decreasing. See, I've written over here very well. Positive correlation exists, in the same direction. So if the person age is increasing, his number of wrinkles also will be seen increasing. But if we talk about negative correlation, one goes up, one goes down. So like for example, when we talk about negative correlation, if one variable increases, other decreases. So if the person goes above the sea level, the height increases, the temperature goes, the temperature decreases. So this is what we talk about. Question number 6. Yes, very good. Yeah. Coming to question number 7, everyone. Now question number 7 talks about which strategy is described here. So they have described one strategy with the help of one example. The example is given that theory is developed from the data which is generated by the series of observation or interviews, principally involving an inductive approach. So when we have an inductive approach, it is called as which type of strategy, research strategy? Is it ethnograph strategy? Is it grounded theory? Is it action research, or is it experiment? So which type of theory, research strategy is experimented over here? The question is, the theory is developed from the data which is generated by the series of observation which involves, inductive approach. So what it is it ethnography? Is it a grounded theory? Is it action research, or is it an experiment? So if to come to the right answer, yes, they have given you the example, and they are telling you to identify the right strategy for research. Yes, so let's see which is the right strategy for research. So if you see the right answer, so see, nothing is developed. It means just the observation is there involving the inductive approach. So if you see in this, basically we are developing everything from the scratch, okay, from the basic. So such type of research strategy is called as what? It is called as your grounded theory, okay. It is known as what? It is known as your grounded theory research, okay. Is it clear? So nothing is, only the observations, no information. It is just involving certain observations of interviews with the help of what? With the help of inductive approach. Such type of research strategy will be called as what? It is called as grounded theory, okay. It's not action research. Action research is immediate response, okay. Abdul, it is not experimental research. There is no experiments happening over here, okay, or there are no action, immediate response. Everything is from the scratch, from the start. So such type of research is called as what? It is called as grounded theory research, okay, Aditya. Yes. Now going to the next question. Here also they have given you an example and they are telling you to identify the research. What is the research which describes developmental changes? So if you're seeing a developmental changes in an individual studying the same group at different age levels, so it will be called as developmental study, it will be called as trend study, it will be called as longitudinal growth study, or it will be called as cross-sectional study. What it will be known as. So there are developmental changes which are seen in the same group of different ages with different age factor or age criteria. So such type of research will be called as what? Is it a developmental study? Is it a trend study? Is it a longitudinal study? Or is it a cross-sectional study? It is known as what? Yes, question number 8 on the screen, everyone. So when we talk about the developmental changes of same age group at different age levels, so such type of study will be called as longitudinal study. See, longitudinal, here it is written same age group. So when we talk about same group at different ages, so maybe the age of 5, maybe the age of 10, maybe age of 15, 20, 25. So such type of long study is called as longitudinal growth study. It is known as what? Yes, Shrinu, very correct. It is called as longitudinal growth study. Okay, you people are not writing the question numbers, so but I think Shrinu, it is for question number 8C. So the answer tends to be right. Abdul, yes, very good. Okay, coming to question number 9, everyone. A very easy question, but a lot of students get confused over here. Which form of reasoning is the process of drawing a specific conclusion from a set of premises? So when we talk about, a form of reasoning is the process of drawing a specific conclusion from a set of premises. So is it a positive is it a objective reasoning, a positivistic reasoning, inductive reasoning, or deductive reasoning? Which form of reasoning is the process of drawing a specific conclusion from a set of premises? Which form of reasoning? They are asking us the reasoning with specific to set of premises. So such type of reasoning will be called as what? Yes, such type of reasoning will see specific. drawing a specific conclusion from a set of premises. So from the set of premises, a specific, coming to a very specific conclusion, it will be called as what? It will be called as a deductive reasoning. Such type of reasoning will be known as what? It will be known as deductive reasoning. Okay, so if you want to see, okay, see, we have studied very well. We are drawing what? We are drawing a specific conclusion from a set of premises, that is from a general rule, from a general observation. We are coming to what? We are coming to a specific conclusion, and hence it is called as what? It will be known as your deductive reasoning. Very good. Many Shrinu, there is a confusion, I guess. It is not. Abdul is right. Kumti is right. It is called as what? It is called as deductive reasoning. Yes. Okay. Now coming to next question. Which of the following is the first step in research? A very easy question, but a regular question seen in UGC. Step of research: to explore the source of information, to survey the related literature, or to identify a problem, or to find a solution to a problem. So which is the following step in the research process? So we are talking about what? We are talking about research. Okay, so which is the first process? So whether it is, whether it is to explore the source of information, survey the related literature, identification of a problem, or finding a solution, it is called as what? Yes. Question number 10th, everyone. We are at question 10th. Yes. Waiting for question 10th, everyone. Okay. Which of the following process is the first step in the research? So yes, when you talk about research, formulating the problem, literature survey, formulating the hypothesis, preparing research design, collection of data, analysis of data, and reporting. So if you see, the right step comes to what? The right step comes to identification of a problem. That is, yes, very good, Abdul. Option number C. Okay, identification of problem indicates what? The first step in a research. Very good. Yes, yes, very good, everyone. Great. Okay, coming to question number 11. Question number 11 talks about a statistical measure which is based on entire population is called as parameter. So for a statistical measure of population is called as parameter. What will be called, the measure which is based on sample? So for population it is your parameter. So for sample it will be known as parameter, inferences, statistics, or none of the above. So it will indicate what? So it will be called as the parameter. Will it be called as the inference? Will it be called as the statistics, or will it be called as none of the above? So I'm talking about the measurement which is based on sample. The measurement which is based on sample will be called as what? The measurement which will be based on sample will be known as what? Okay, so let's see. If population is called as a parameter, sample will be called as statistics. Okay, question number 11th we are into. So if you remember, we have also once I have made you revise this. So basically this is nothing but it is a frame, okay, which tells that parameter is the measure for population, statistics is a measure for sample, sampling frame is from where we draw the sample, and sampling design is nothing but a roadmap. So our question was, if we for population, if we use parameter, what will be used for sample? So for sample we use something called as statistics. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now here there is a lot of confusion among the students in question number 12 also. So that's the reason I brought it purposely. It is about sampling. So in random sampling, so they are talking about random sampling, the probability of selecting an item from the population. So you want to select an item from the population. So basically it is what? Is it unknown? Is it non-zero? Is it undecided? Or is it 1? So in random sampling, the probability of selecting an item is what? Is it unknown? Is it non-zero? Is it undecided? Or is it 1? Yes, question number 11, everyone is right. Moving towards question number 12, I'll just wait for everyone to answer question 12. Question 12. Yes, question 12, everyone. What is in random sampling the probability of selecting an item from the population becomes what? Random, no? So obviously there will be non-zero. The amount of option, I mean to say, it is non-zero. Why? Because it is a part of what? It is a part of random sampling. So obviously here it means indicates that any type of sample will be will be selected. It means non-zero, it means either there are all positive chances of getting the sample selected, or there are negative chances of getting the sample selected. When the non-zero, it means not equal to 0. It indicates that it's not equal to 0. Okay, question number 13 now. Workshops are meant for what? So when we talk about workshops, 12 is B. Komti, I've just given an explanation. Non-zero, it means there are the chances that it can be positive or it can be negative. Okay, 12th, many of you have went wrong. 12th question, I've explained you the right answer, why it is non-zero. Okay, workshops are meant for what? Are workshop meant for giving lectures, to target the multiple groups, to showcase new theories, or hands-on training experience? No, Pavni, it's not unknown. Unknown, it means we do not know. It's non-zero. Non-zero, it means it can be selected positive or it cannot be selected, that is negative. So it is called as non-zero. Okay. Okay, so workshops are meant for what? So when we talk about workshops, basically they are meant for giving lectures, the target multiple target groups, showcase the new theories, or hands-on experience. So when we talk about the workshop, basically workshops are meant for giving hands-on experience. So with the help of workshop, we get the training or we get the experience. So the right option is option number D, that is hands-on experience. Okay. Coming to question number 14. Now question number 14 is again on sampling. So here they have they are speaking about purposive method of sampling. So it is purposive method of sampling. The items which are selected are according to what? Is it law of certainty, law of probability, personal judgment, or none of the above? So when we talk about purposive sampling, the items are selected according to law of what? Law of certainty, law of probability, law of personal judgment, or none of the above. So purposive sampling. So purposive sampling indicates what? Purpose. There is a purpose. There is a reason. So it indicates what? A purposive sampling indicates what? Does it indicate law of certainty? Does it indicate law of probability? Does it indicate personal judgment, or none of the above? So if you see, so law of, in the purposive method, question number 14, it indicates purpose. No, purpose means what is your personal agenda. So it's basically on personal judgment. It talks about what? It talks about personal judgment. Okay. Let's go to the last question of the day, question number 15 on the screen. It's again on sampling. A researcher wants to conduct a survey of drug users. Which type of sampling technique will be appropriate over here? Whether it is sequential, whether it is snowball, whether it is quota, or whether it is convenient sampling. A researcher who wants to survey the drug users. So here definitely you need to know a very strong connection. So which type of sampling will be used over here? So in such case, the sampling which will be used in order to get the appropriate information will be what? Will be the snowball sampling. Snowball sampling, it is based on the network, and that network will help to give the survey with respect to what? With respect to the drug users. Is it clear? So that is called as what? It will be called as snowball sampling. That is question number 15. The right option will be option number B, that is called as snowball sampling. Is it clear? Okay, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry extremely. Here the first answer itself is printed. Anyways, we'll discuss this question. Now the question is about primary data. So which of the following is an example of primary data? So we are talking about what? We are talking about primary data. The options given are book, journal, newspapers and census report. Now here a lot of students makes a mistake. See, I'll read the question once again for you. The question talks an example of primary data, and the options given are book, journal, newspapers and census report. So here newspaper, that is, if you see book, journal and census report becomes what? Becomes your secondary data, but newspapers becomes your primary data. The reason is that whatever events are happens, or whatever events takes place, there is the immediate occurrence of events can be viewed in what? Newspaper, and hence newspaper stands to be what? It stands to be the source of primary data. So the right answer here is what? The example of primary data is in the form of newspaper. So the right answer here is newspaper. Okay, so now let's start with the next question. Yes. Okay, now let's go to the question number 2. Now question number 2 consists of the following option, that is camera, tape recorder, videotape as well as etc. are the devices of observation. So it talks about what? It talks about camera, it talks about tape recorder, it talks about videotape. So they have given the examples, and they say that out of these given examples, these are the devices of observation. So these devices are called as what? Is it called as the casual devices? Is it called as the mechanical devices? Is it called as the technical devices? Or is it called as the manual devices? So what are the devices such as camera, tape recorder or the videotape called as? So the options given are given on the screen, that is casual, mechanical, technical and manual. So you need to say that which of these tools are called as devices of observation, which type of tools they are called. Okay, Shrinu, Rashmi has started answering. Sorry. See over here. Now if you see Rashmi as well as Shrinu, just listen to the question very carefully. Camera, a tape recorder or a videotape. These all devices are like machines. They are in the form of what? They are form of machines, and hence these devices of observation are not called as technical or manual. It is called as what? It is called as mechanical. They are the form of machines, and hence these devices are called as what? They're called as mechanical devices of observation. So the right option is option number 2 and not option number C or D. I hope it is very clear. They are in the form of machines. Okay. Now, coming to the next question, that is question number 3 on the screen, everyone. Books, records are the primary sources of data. Here they are talking about, they have given now books and records. They are saying they are the primary sources. So they are saying that they are primary sources. But you have to identify which primary sources they are. Are they historical, in the historical research, or in participatory research, or in clinical research, or in laboratory research? So which type of books and records stands to be a primary source? You need to say that they are primary source for which type of research. Is it historical research? Is it participatory research? Is it clinical research, or is it laboratory research? So which will be the right answer? Yes. Question number 3, everyone on the screen. So let's see. Question number 3, what is the right answer? Books and records, they've already given. They are the primary sources. But for which of the research? Okay. Rashmita has already answered. Let's see. So yes, very good. So when we talk about books and records as one of the primary sources, yes, very good. They are the part of historical research. Why? Because primary sources are the historical documents which are used by historians. Okay, the one who studies the past in the form of what? In the form of evidence. So it stands to be what? It stands to be historical research. Yes, very good. Now let's go to question number 4. Now question number 4 is a little lengthy question. So you need to read it very clearly. So first, question number 4 talks about what? It talks about which of the following options are the main tasks of research in modern society. So they are talking about what? They are talking about the main tasks of research in modern society: to keep pace with the advancement in knowledge, to discover new things, to write a critic, to systematically examine and criticalize the investigations and objectivity. So which stands to be the which stands to be the main task for modern society? Here we are going with question number 4. Question number 4 on the screen, everyone. It talks about the main tasks of research in modern society. So it is listing about what? It is listing about modern society. So what comes under modern society? Is it advancement? Is it discovering new things? Is it writing a critic? Or it is systematically examining the knowledge with the source of objectivity? So what is the answer for this question? Question number 4, everyone on the screen. Okay, Meenu has already answered. Meenu has answered as question number 4 as option number D. Okay, let's wait for others also quickly. Yes. So let's see now. See here you can go with your Shrinu, Jaya, Giarani, Rashmita. Okay. Now see the question. You have not understood the question very well. The option is not option number D. It's option number 1. How? I'll tell you. See, we are talking about what? We are talking about research in modern society. It means in the latest contemporary society, how our research, what is the main agenda of research? So obviously advancement, yes. To discover new things, yes. Writing a critics on earlier writings. So it means that you're criticizing someone's research, irrespective whatever type of research a person has brought. But criticizing the research is not a part of modern society. So option number 3 will be not accepted. So if you see wherever there is option 3 will be striked out. So research in modern society will allow advancement, will discover new things, will have a systematic examination, but will definitely not be a part of what? Critics. So here the right answer is option number A, okay, and not option number D. Fine. Okay. Now we are having interviews and the meaning of the interviews. So on list we are having as the following. So list 1 consists of interviews, list 2 consists of meaning. So we have unstructured interview, structured interview, focused interview, clinical interview, and you have to match them with their meanings. So I'll allow everyone to go through it once and come with the right answer for question number 5. We have question number 5 on the screen, everyone. Yes. Everyone, we have question number 5 on the screen. So you can just answer question number 5. Let's see. Question number 5 consists of what? It is talking about the list of interviews. Meenu, sorry, very sorry. Actually, Hindi classes are taken in evening. These classes are only and only in English. Okay, yes, Shrinu has started answering. Sorry. So we have interviews and we have meanings. We are talking about interviews on one hand, meanings on other hand. So let's see what does it means. Okay, so coming to the answer. Yes, Shrinu has already answered option number A. So let's see this option number A. We are talking about structured interviews, the one which is predetermined. It means we already have set the questions for the structured interviews. Unstructured interviews, the one which are very flexible, depending upon the situation, depending upon the scenario. You have the flexibility. You have an option of having a flexibility in such type of interviews. Then we have focused interviews, which has a greater attention on the questions. Then we have the clinical interviews, which talks about individual life experience. So yes, the right option Meenu and Shrinu has already given. That is option number A turns out to be a right option. Okay. Now, coming to the next question is bibliography given in research. So whenever we have bibliography which is given in research, it tells us what? It shows vast knowledge. It helps those who are interested in further research. It has no relevance to research, or all above. So basically, what does the bibliography in the research talks about? Sorry. What does bibliography in the research is talking about? Is it talking about the knowledge? Is it talking about the people who are interested further? Is it talking about the relevance that has no relevance to research? Or it is talking about all the above? So what does it indicates? Yes, question number 6, everyone. Question number 6 on the screen. So question number 6 is indicating what? So yes, let's see. Shrinu, question number 6, bibliography. It only and only tells you about the people who are interested in further research. Yes, Pratima Kumari, very right. Bibliography only talks about what? Only talks about those ones, or sorry, it talks about only those who are interested in further research. So for that reason, we are using bibliography in research report. Okay. So that's what we have used in question number 6. Yes. Now, coming to question number 7. Question number 7 talks about research problem is selected from the standpoint of what? So whenever we select a research problem, it is based on what? Is it based on research interest? Is it based on financial support? Is it based on social relevance, or is it based on availability of relevant literature review? So when we are talking about research problem, okay, any research problem, this research problem is based on what? Is it based on the researcher's interest? Okay, whenever the research problem comes, is it based on the researcher's interest? Is it based on financial support? Is it based on social relevance, or is it based on availability of literature review? It is called as known as what? Okay, so let's see what is the right answer. How many of you? Please try to write the question number also. It becomes easier to read with question number. I understand which answer you are telling or which question you are talking about. Okay, research problem, whichever is selected, is always Giarani. Just remember, research problem, whenever you select a research problem, it should be always and always from the societal relevance. So see, it is not about availability of research, not researchers' interest, not financial support. No. So whenever all the students are going wrong, please try to understand. Whenever we go for a research problem, the research problem has to be basically from the viewpoint of what? It has to be from the viewpoint of social relevance. It means societal relevance, and hence here the option stands to be question number, that is for question number 8, the option stands is to be option number C and not option number D or option number A or B. Is it clear? Sudhir is right with question number 8. I guess question number 8 you're talking about. Yes. Now going to question number 9. Question number 9 is on the topic of sampling. We have a topic of sampling in research. So which of the following principles is not applicable to sampling? Here they are talking about the principle which is not applicable to sampling. So it is basically what? So let's see what are the options given below. It's talking about sample units must be clearly defined. It's talking about it must be dependent on each other. It must be used throughout the study, or it must be chosen in a systematic manner. So we are talking about which of the following principles is not applicable to sampling. So which is not applicable to sampling? Whether it is sampling units, whether it is dependency, whether it is throughout the study, or whether it is chosen in a systematic or objective manner. Okay, so Shrinu has answered question number 9 now. Okay, let's see. Applicability, yes, it's not applicable. Very good. So samples must be dependent on each other, is not an applicable principle. So this principle basically is not applicable to sampling, that it has to be dependent on each other, and hence the odd man out, or the right answer is option number B, that is samples must be dependent on each other. Yes, Sudhir, answer number question number 9 answer is B. Okay, yes. Now let's see question number 10. Question number 10 is also on sampling. So let's see what does it mean. Suppose you want to investigate the working efficiency of nationalized bank in India. So you want to find out the efficiency of nationalized bank in India. So which type of sampling will you use? You are working on the information for efficiency of nationalized bank. So you will use what type of information? Area sampling, multi-state sampling, sequence and sampling, or quota sampling. You will go for what? Okay, from the given options below, you will go with what? Whether you will go for area sampling, whether you will go for multi-state sampling, whether you will go for sequential sampling, or whether you will go for quota sampling. So let's see what answer is given. What type of answers you have? Question number 10th, everyone on the screen. Which type of sampling? Question numbers, please write the question numbers. It becomes easier for me to understand. I have all the answers, but I don't know for which question it is talking about. So when we talk about the sampling, for the given example, it is basically the multi-stage sampling, multi-stage, not area sampling. See, you're talking about what? You're talking about entire country, India. So area sampling is not a part of what it is not representing the country. So you have to go with multi-sampling. That is, see, it means you have to include the states, the districts, the villages, the households, samples from all of this in order to understand the efficiency of the nationalized bank in India. So here you will go with what type of sampling? You will go with the sampling called as multi-stage sampling, where you are indicating or using a specific district, a state, a village, a household, which will give you a overview of entire country, that is India. Okay. Now, question number 11. Question number 11 talks about the type 1 errors. So when we talk about the errors in research, and when we are talking about type 1 error, when is type 1 error occurred? Is it the null hypothesis is rejected even if it is true? The null hypothesis is accepted even if it is false? Or both the null hypothesis as well as alternative hypothesis are rejected, or none of the above? So when will the type 1 error occur? When? So when will be then error? So when we'll see type 1 error in research, in what circumstances or for what reasons type 1 error will occur? So when we talk about type 1 error, basically type 1 error is seen when, okay, I'll just come to the answer and then I'll come to the explanation. When the null hypothesis is rejected. See, null hypothesis is true but is rejected. We have an explanation over here. See, type 1 error occurs. Question number 11, it is option number A. So that is type 1 error if an investigator rejects a null hypothesis that is actually true. It is true but you are rejecting. It's called as type 1 error. What is the right decision? You are not supposed to reject the null hypothesis. If you are going with type 2 error, so the investigator fails to reject the null hypothesis, which is false. So the right decision is rejecting, but he does not reject, he accepts the null hypothesis, which is called as what? Which is called as type 2 error. Our question was about type 1 error. So type 1 error occurs when the null hypothesis is rejected, even if it is true. The null hypothesis is true and it is rejected. It is called as what? It is called as type 1 error. Okay. Now, going to question number 12. Question number 12 talks about which of the following is a research tool. So we are talking about what? We are talking about a research tool. Is it a graph? Is it an illustration? Is it a questionnaire? Or is it a diagram? So we are talking about what? We are talking about one of the research tool. So research tool is what? From the given option, is research tool a graph? Is research tool a illustration? Is research tool a questionnaire? Or a research tool is a diagram? So which of the following is a research tool? What is called as research tool? What is known as research tool? Okay, let's see how many of you have answered correctly. Question number 12. We're talking about question number 12. So yes, under question 12, very good. Some of them have answered C. So assume that it is an answer for question number 12 itself. So research tool, basically research tool is something is called as what in the form of questionnaire. Graph, illustration and diagram are not a research tool. Okay. They are not called as research tool. Is it clear? Okay. Now, question number 13. Conferences are meant for what? So when we are talking about conferences, are they for multiple target groups? Are they for group discussion? Are they to showcase the showcase the new research, or are all the above? So what exactly are the conferences meant for? Conferences are meant for what? Are they meant for the multiple target groups? Are they meant for group discussion? Do they showcase the new research, or all the above? So when we talk about conferences, it is basically for everything. It is not only to target the multiple groups, the group discussion also takes place. There is something showcasing about new research. So yes, basically it indicates what? It indicates your the conferences are basically meant for what? The all the above, with respect to what? With respect to the targets, with respect to group discussion, or with respect to new research. Okay, yes. Coming to question number 14. Question number 14 talks about identifying the correct sequence of research steps. So what are you have to, the research steps are given. You have to tell about, you have to tell about the research step sequence, which is right one, which talks about the right step. So it is basically selection of a topic, review, data collection, interpretation, review, selection, data collection, interpretation, selection of a topic, data collection, or selection of a topic, review, and findings and data collection. So what exactly it is used for? So basically, what is the sequence, right sequence? You can just go through it for a minute and then you can come up with the right answer. I'll just wait. So yes, let's see question number 14. So basically, the correct sequences, you have to select a topic, you have to review the literature, data collection, and interpretation of findings. So this is what, this is how the correct sequence of research goes, or the correct sequence of research is. Okay, now coming to the question 15. Okay, sampling error decreases with what? So when we talk about we're talking about sampling error. So sampling error basically talks about what? So does it talks about decrease in sample size? Does it talks about increase in sample size? Does it talks about process of randomization or process of analysis? So basically it is indicating what? Sampling error decreases with what? We are talking about decrease in sample error. So basically it is decrease in sample size, increase in sample size, process of randomization, or process of analysis. So when your sample error will decrease, when your error will be reduced, or when it will be decreased. So sampling error will be reduced or decreased when the sample size will increase. So it's like inverse relation. So there is what? There is an inverse relation between both of them. So if you're talking about your sampling, so sampling error will decrease when. So yes, let's start our session for paper 1. That is our MCQs for research aptitude. And here comes your first question on the screen. So let's see what is the question about and what are the options given below. So when we talk about why does a researcher write a research proposal at the start of a study? So all we know that as a research scholar, you are supposed to write a research proposal. So the question is asking, a simple way of asking the question, that why research proposal is written at the start of the research study. So it tells you that the given options are in order to make sure that nothing is left out, so that it can advertise for people to take part in the research study, so that they will not forget what they are doing during the study, to apply the ethical approval, to gain the permission for the participants to access the participants or sources of data. Yes, thank you, Shrinu. Shrinu has already started answering. I'll just wait for everyone to read the question once again and come to the answer. Yes, so we are talking about what? We are talking about research proposal. So research proposal is written by the researcher at the start of research study. Reason is what? So there are 4 options given. Out of these 4 options, you are supposed to select one appropriate option. Rasmita, very good morning. We have started with the first question on the screen, so you can start answering the first question. So why researcher writes a research proposal at the start of the study? So this is what the question is. Okay, so before we come to the answer, a very quick understanding for you all. What is research proposal? So research proposal is nothing but a very concise, summarized, proposed research. As a researcher, what exactly you are going to do. It is an outline that what is your study about, what type of current knowledge or database or things you are going to use in your research. So it gives an outline. So why it has to be written? So let's check the answer. The reason to write the research proposal at the start, so that it helps you to give an ethical approval, and it will also allow you to permit the access of the participants and the various sources of data. Okay, so there is a specific format of research proposal. Yes, very good everyone. Yes, so I'll just quickly tell you what the research proposal starts with: the introduction, the review of the literature, the objectives, the design, research design, your ethical considerations, that is approvals, budget, and your references and citations. So basically this is how the research proposal is written, format. Fine. Now let's come to question number 2. Question number 2, yesterday same type of question I have taken, but it was in a different way. Options are changed today, so don't get confused. Okay. In random sampling, the probability of selecting an item from the population. So here we are doing what? We are doing random sampling. So there is a question on random sampling where the samples are selected from the population. What is the probability that the samples will be selected? Whether it is known, whether it is unknown, whether it is undecided, or whether it is 0. So what is the level of selection probability of the given sample? So whether it will be known, whether it will be unknown, or whether it will be undecided or 0. Question number 2, a small request to everyone: just take little efforts to write the question number. It becomes little confusing, to understand which question you are addressing. Okay. Maiti has started answering. Okay, Shrinu, Maiti, I think have started answering. Others also. Okay, I'll just wait for 1 more minute. So that everyone can answer the question. Yes, so let's see. Okay, question number 2. Fine, all are answering. Okay, so let's see. I hope everyone has understood the question. We have a random sampling. You know what is the meaning of random? Random, it means you pick up, in a random way. Okay, there is no sequence, there is no system. You just pick up in a random way. So what is the level of chances of selection of a sample? So in this case, the chances of selection of a sample from the population is known. See, yesterday also I explained this question very well. See, I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll just give you an example. Let us take an example. There are these numbers, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, the entire box represents what? It represents population. All these numbers represents what? They represent samples. Okay, now what type of sampling I'm doing? I'm doing random sampling. Okay, random. Now out of this 12 numbers, there are 12 numbers on the in the box. So out of this 12 numbers, if I'm taking random sampling, it means I can pick up any number randomly. So what are the chances that out of these 12 numbers, which number will be selected? So the chances, the probability is known. Any one, I mean to say, all the numbers can be, can get a chance. So there is a probability that the items of the samples of the population can be known. So we have the complete probability there will be known. Now only after the final selection we will come to know that what is the what is the confirmed number which has been selected. Please try to understand. A lot of students make mistake over here. Okay, so random sampling, all the samples have the same probability of getting selected, and hence the answer is known. Okay, fine. Now the sample, a very easy question. 100% answers should be right, and everyone should be able to answer this question. A sample is a subset of what? A very easy question. A sample is a subset of data, group, population, or distribution. A sample is a subset of what? A sample is a subset of what? So from the given options, what is a sample is a subset of what? Very good, very good. Okay, quick answers have started. Great. Right answers are coming up. Very good. So very easy question which can be expected. Don't say that this question, sometimes a very easy question can be a part, but in a twisted way. Okay, so yes, a sample is a subset of population. Very good, everyone. Okay, let's move ahead now. Now, non-probability form of sampling. So we know that sampling is divided into two forms, probability and non-probability, right? So non-probability form of sampling is what? Does it include probability, dimensional, random, or non-random? So this question is clearly, very purely on the sampling topic. Under non-probability, what comes? Probability, dimensional, random, or non-random? So yes, come on everyone. Okay, answers have started. Okay, great, great. Okay, answers are coming fast. Very good. Yes. So the non-probability form of sampling here. Now see over here. When we talk about, if you remember, we have two types of sampling, probability and non-probability, right? Now listen the question very well. So when we talk about non-probability sampling, okay, so non-probability sampling has what? Convenience sampling, purposive sampling, snowball sampling, or quota sampling. And quota is called as dimensional sampling. Just be careful. Quota is called as dimensional sampling. So if you see the types of samples in this, they have not given directly dimensional, but they have given quota, and quota is nothing but it is called as dimensional sampling. So let's understand this question very well first, so that you will get an idea. Okay. So when we talk about non-probability sampling, that is dimensional sampling. Now application of quota sampling in research, because quota is known as dimensional, ensures that the sample group represents certain characteristics of the population which are chosen by the researcher. So dimensions are nothing but the characteristics which are chosen by the researcher. So you have a controlled quota sampling and you have an uncontrolled. Control, it means the things which are under your capacity, and control is beyond the capacity. But these characteristics are called as what? They are called as dimensional sampling. Please try to understand, they are known as what? They are known as dimensional sampling. Is it clear? So anyone who is having any doubt, students went little bit wrong for this answer. I hope I have informed you what exactly this sampling or non-probability sampling is. Is it clear with everyone? Fine, let's go for next question. Now, okay, in this I will just explain you those who selected, I'm just seeing the answers, those who have selected the option as D, non-random sampling. See, please try to understand, non-random is a method. It means that in non-probability sampling, it takes a sample. I mean to say the sample is selected based on the non-random criteria, where not every sample is a part of what? It's a part of, or it's a chance of having included in the population. So that is method. So method is non-random. So don't get confused. I hope it is very clear with everyone. Yes, Sanchita, non-random. I'll explain again. In non-probability sampling, no, what is the meaning of non-probability? That the sample is selected based on non-random methods. Now, what do you mean by non-random or non-random criteria? That every member of the population, that every sample of the population does not has an equal chance of getting selected. So we use the word as what? Non-random. That is one of the method, but that is not a type of sampling. Is it clear? Okay. So if you want, like for example, if you want an example of this, so let us take an example, a technique which is, a sampling which is using a technique to select the factors, and that factor is non-random. Is it clear? Fine. Okay. So I'll go. So now in case if instead of non-probability, okay, this also keep in mind, instead of the word non-probability, they can use the word non-random. So non-probability is equal to non-random, but it is not the type of method of non-probability. I hope it is very clear. So non-probability is also called as, or it is also known as non-random sampling. You can say like that. Fine. Sanchita, I hope it is very clear. Now, let's go to question number 5, everyone. The list of all units in a population. A very easy but little complicated or twisted question sometimes you may feel, but easy question. The list of all units in a population. So anything which is a part of population is called as what? Sampling frame. Is it called as parameter? Is it called as bias, or it is called as statistics? So what is the units in the population called as? What it is known as? Yes, waiting for everyone to answer. Okay, the list of all the units in the population will be called as what? Please remember, everyone, yesterday we took this question. Here they are asking about the list. They are not asking about the measurement. If it is population measurement, it will be called as parameter. If it is measurement, it will be called as parameter. But here they are asking about the list. All the units in the population will be called as sampling frame. When we will use the word parameter, if they are asking about the measurement of the that is the population. So the measurement is called as parameter. See, I told you this question is very simple, but it becomes very complicated if you are not very clear with the question reading or the concepts. Then it becomes confusing. So got it, everyone? If it is measurement, it will be parameter, but they are asking about the list, it is called as sampling frame. Okay. Now, question number 6, everyone. I have came to question number 6. Now, question number 6 is talking about field work based research. Field work research is called as what? Empirical, historical, experimental, biographical. I'll read again. Field work research. Is it called as empirical? Is it called as historical? Is it called as experimental? Or is it called as biographical? Yes. I hope everyone is reading the question. Can come to the answer for question number 6, everyone. Okay, Rudra has answered. Okay. Fieldwork research. Here there can be a small confusion that I'll sort out. See, fieldwork research, no, it is empirical. It means it is based on real evidence, real life evidence, realistic evidence. Now those who are saying experimental, here there is a confusion. Why? Because if the question is talking about experiment, but we do not know, no, the experiment is based on what? Is it based on the field work or is it based on something else? So here, if the option is experimental, no, clearly in the question they will mention it. They will not try to create any confusion, because it is ultimately the students will, raise a query. So just fieldwork says, it means it is a real life evidence, so it is called as empirical. Is it clear? Yes. Yeah. A very good morning. Learning something new. Okay. Yes. Now, question number 7. Question number 7 is on the topic research ethics. So research ethics does not include what? Honesty, subjectivity, integrity, or objectivity. So we are talking about research ethics. So research ethics will not include what? Honesty, subjectivity, integrity, or objectivity. Let's see how many of you are able to answer. Yes, waiting for the answer, everyone. Research ethics does not include what? Very simple question. But again, there is a confusion I get for everyone. Yes, Maiti, exactly right. See, research ethics obviously requires honesty. Integrity, it means unifying the work, coordinating the work, cooperate. Okay. Objectivity, that is a purpose. So what will not be a part of research ethics? Subjectivity. Okay. Subjectivity will not be a part of research ethics. Now, subjective, it means something which is based on personal opinions or feelings or options. So something which is personalized will not be a part of research ethics. Yes, many of you have said right, but there are some students who got confused. I've cleared the doubts. Fine. Now let's come to question number 8. Lengthy question, so read properly and come to the answer. Which two among the following factors are responsible for transgression of ethical principle in research? Okay, now they are talking about what? They are talking about principles, ethical principles. That is, what is responsible for transgression? Now what do you mean by this? It is nothing but a law, a code, okay, rule. So transgression is nothing but a rule. So factors which are responsible for the rules of ethical principle. It is to harm the participants, lack of informed consent, not greeting the participants, asking difficult question. So what comes under the rules as a part of your ethical principle in research? Yes. Waiting for the answer, everyone, for question number 8. 8 is B. Okay. Others? Okay, fine. So question number 8c. What will be not rule? So harming the participants and lack of informed consent. See, please try to understand which two. They have said very correctly. Among the factors are responsible for the law. So as per the law, to harm the participants is not a part. Okay. Lack of informed consent. Now, what do you mean by informed consent? See, whenever you are taking a research responses, in case if you are, you are supposed to take the consent of the participants, which is a part of what a research principle. So yes, these two things will be, will be not, will be against the rule, or will be not, which is a part of a code or a rule. So option number A and B, not greeting the participants after the experiment is over, cannot be a law. Asking difficult questions also cannot be a law. So ideally, harming the participants and lack of informed consent will be considered as a part or a factor of law. Is it clear? Sound is less, sound is not less, maybe because of my throat, no? You will be able to hear little bit, I mean to say I'm not able to speak loudly. That's the reason. So sorry for that, because of my bad throat. Okay. Now see, I've taken mic little bit more closer. So in case if you can hear my voice clearly. Now, question number 9 talks about a research scholar not acknowledging the help and support of the respondents as well as guide will be called as what? So this act will be called as what? Technical lapse, willful negligence, unethical act, or lack of respect. Okay, question number 9, Sanchita, I'll come back to question 9 once again. Let's first, this question I'll complete and go to question number 8, okay? So now, a researcher is not acknowledging the help of the respondents or the guide. Such act in research will be called as what? Is it technical lapse? Is it willful negligence? Willful, it means on your own. Your desire, your neglecting as per your wish. Unethical act or lack of respect. Okay, let's see how many of you are able to answer it. Okay. Sanchita, just be very careful. See, it is not, unethical. See, as a part of research ethics, you are supposed to acknowledge all the people who are helping you in your research. Technical lapse, it means it is something with respect to what? Certain things which are, predefined. But here there is nothing technical. It is just a gratitude which you are expressing. And if you do not express, it will be called as what? It will be called as unethical. Shrinu, I don't think so. From my end, I think it is buffering. Just check your internet connection once. Okay? Yes. Now there one student is having a doubt in this. I will just quickly take this answer. See, here what they are telling is which are the factors in research, okay, which can be considered as a part of law, that is transgression. So in such case, law harming the participant, yes, it is, it is something which will be against the law. So you are considering that part. And anything without the wish or without the consent, if you do, like for example, I want a response from a respondent and the respondent is not ready to give me the response. So that will be considered as what? It will be considered against. I'm going against him, against his wish. So that will be called as lack of informed consent. So this is nothing but it is something which will be carried as per the law, and hence Sanchita, this two options will be right option. Okay, fine. Yes. Now going to question number 10. Yesterday we did a question on bibliography. Today we are doing a question on references. So references serves the purpose of what? So whenever we add references at the end of the research, it indicates what? Does it indicate authenticity? Does it indicates decision making? Does it indicates ornamental value to research, or does it exhibits great achievement? So what it will be considered, reference will be considered as what? So you are supposed to give an answer for this. Okay. Yes, everyone. Okay. Answers are coming, but answers are differing. Here they are talking about what? They are talking about references. So whenever we are using references, okay, what exactly this references will indicate, or what does this references, okay, will talk about? So let's see. I'm just waiting for everyone to answer. Okay, so the right answer here is option number A. Now see, many of you have even given authenticity. It means it is authenticate. It is something which is, accepted. Decision making, no, it is not. The ornamental value of research, or ornamental value to research, it means you are decorating research. You are, like for example, you are giving a beauty to research. So obviously it is not giving beauty to research. Exhibiting achievement, no, it just tells you about your authentication. It means something which is valid, reliable. Okay. Now question number 11, everyone. Which type of research has a potential to grow as per the situation, work situation? So we can say that advancement. We can say research which is advancing, which is progressing, which is growing. Is it fundamental research? Is it applied research? Is it evaluative research? Or is it action research? Type of research which has a potential to grow is called as what? Will be known as what? Yes, waiting for the answer, everyone. Here it talks about potential to grow. It means to progress, to make an advancement, to develop. So what will be the right answer? Okay. Yes, waiting for the right answer, everyone. Yes. Sorry. Yes. So the one which is having the potential to grow will be called as C. Fundamental research is a basic research. Applied research is based on an application. Evaluative research will tells you about the assessment. Action research, which is something which is done immediate, so that you have a equal chance of progressing or growing. Please try to understand action research. Why action research is called as a potential to grow? So that it is it helps in able to come out with a solution and to take an action with an immediate basis, and which will help to transform. It will help to bring a change, or which will help to bring a development, and hence the right answer is action research. Is it clear? Okay. Now question number 12. Question number 12 talks about recording the observation in which observer rates an individual based on center value. So you are doing some observation and you're rating based on center value. So it will be called as what? Evaluation effect, center tendency, halo effect, or categorical effect. It will be known as what? Yes, everyone. You are rating a observer based on center value. So it will be called as what? It will be known as what? Center values. Though I have even highlighted the keyword. I've even given you the hint. Yes. So something which is recorded or observed based on center value will be called as central tendency or error of central tendency. It means you're neutral. Like halo effect is rated based on positive impression. One positive impression will be called as halo effect. Negative impression, it is called as Horn effect. I've explained all these effects to you in the theory part. Halo effect is something which you give on positive impression. Horn effect is something which you give on negative impression. So here if you are using a center value, it will be called as central tendency. Okay, yes. Now some students are right, but those who are wrong, for them I've explained the meaning. So here also see, halo effect I have mentioned, that is on positive opinion. Central tendency, it means a tendency which is on a central scale. Categorical effect, it is based on a particular category. Evaluation research which is carried out to make or to take a decision. Is it clear? Okay. Now coming to question number 13, which is not a type of hypothesis. Future hypothesis, null hypothesis, logical hypothesis, or empirical hypothesis, which does not comes as a part of as a part of hypothesis. Yes. Yes. So let's see. The one which is not a part of a hypothesis is called as what? A future hypothesis. Yes. Null hypothesis we already used. Logical hypothesis is an explanatory hypothesis. Empirical hypothesis is evidence based. So yes, it is called as what? It is, the answer is future hypothesis. Future hypothesis. Okay. Now question number 14. A questionnaire that offers no scope for any respondent's own view. So what it will be known as? Okay, when we are talking about a questionnaire that offers no scope for any respondent, will be called of own view. So is it called as closed-ended, scheduled, open-ended, or unstructured? What it will be known as? Okay. A questionnaire that offers no scope for any respondent's own view. Will it be called as close-ended? Will it be called as a schedule? Will it be called as an open-ended or unstructured? Okay, there is no scope. You have to just revert as it is explained. So yes, very good. Many of them have rightly said it is close-ended. So close-ended has no scope, whereas open-ended questions have a very descriptive scope. Yes, very good, great. Okay, now the last question for the day, everyone. A researcher intends to make use of ITC in research. So what type of decisions will be taken? That is appropriateness of a tool, cost involved, availability of the tool, willingness, or the equipment, that is ITC equipment from which you have procured. So a researcher who makes the use of ICT, what consideration should be taken for the decision? Okay. So just let's see what is the right answer. So in case if you're talking about ICT, so it is basically, it will indicate what? So yes, so when you're talking about the use of ICT tools, it will talk about, yes, you have to see that the tools are appropriate. What you want me to repeat, Manjit? See, the question is, okay, I'll just repeat it out. A researcher is intending to make a use of ICT tools, that is information and communication technology. So what he will be considering the factors from the given below. So in such case, no, for him, use of tool, appropriateness of the tool is important. Yes, cost is important because he cannot go beyond the budget, and availability of a tool is important. Willingness and the company, the brand or the equipment will not play that important role compared to the above three factors, that is appropriateness of a tool, cost involved, and the availability of the tool in the department. So these all will play an important of parameters or factors in the decision of using the question answers. Okay, yes, just little sorry, this question is answer is quickly reflected. Anyways, we'll just repeat this question. A good review of research literature aims at what? So in order to go for a good review of research literature, I know the answer is reflected on the screen, but let's have a understanding of this question. We have literature review. So whenever we talk about a good review of research literature, what does it indicate? Does it indicate the subjective analysis of the content? Does it indicate information providing about the authors and their affiliation? Does it indicate generating research questions and validating those questions? Or does it talks about conducting multiple task-based screening? So when we talk about a good review of literature, so good review of literature definitely will not give you subjective analysis, will not give you information about the authors, but will definitely give you generating research questions in order to validate those questions. So the first question, I'm just sorry here, the first question, the screen of the answer is also reflected, but I've just explained you the question. The question talks about a good review of literature. So whenever you want a good review of literature, what will you keep in mind? Will you keep in mind the subjective analysis? Will you keep in mind the information? Will you generate the research questions to validate those questions? Or will you conduct multiple task-based screening? So basically, it is generating the research questions and validating those questions is a part of what? Is a part of your good review of literature. Is it clear? Let's now go to question number 2. Now question number 2, we have repeated this question, but I have purposely taken this question because last time there was a lot of confusion in this question. So when we talk about a researcher who fails to reject the null hypothesis, so the researcher, okay, the one who is doing a research, fails to reject the null hypothesis in his research. So which or what implications will it carry in order to go for a principal research hypothesis? Once again I'll repeat the question. A researcher has failed to reject the null hypothesis. So what implications will it carry in order to carry a principal research hypothesis? So whether it will be accepting the research hypothesis, whether it will be rejecting the research hypothesis, or it will be about not taking any decision, or it is about improving the research hypothesis. So let's make it very clear. There is a situation where the null hypothesis is rejected. So what will happen with the principal research hypothesis? So here, if I give you a hint, it is basically, if your null hypothesis is rejected, what will happen with your alternate hypothesis? Whether it will be accepted, whether it will be rejected, whether there will be no decision, or whether it will be improving the research hypothesis. So what does it indicate? Okay, yes, I've started getting the answers. Let's see what it is basically about. Okay, so let's see the answers. Yes, So yeah, very good. So whenever your null hypothesis gets rejected, yes, very true. When your null hypothesis gets rejected, okay, here you people have not read the question very carefully. Answers are coming up, okay, but see, try to understand. I'll explain this to you all, but my question was very straight. Null hypothesis is rejected. So what will happen with your alternate hypothesis? So alternate hypothesis obviously will be accepted. So one, if you remember little bit of explanation which I gave for hypothesis, sorry, okay, so where I spoke about what we are having two types of hypothesis, null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, okay. So when we talk about null hypothesis, it is a negative statement that says that yes, Mahima, very good, hypothesis, that is alternate hypothesis, will be accepted. But some students got confused, so I'm just explaining. Null hypothesis is a negative statement that talks about not existing any relationship in hypothesis. That is a null hypothesis. So if a null hypothesis is a negative statement, your alternate hypothesis is a positive statement which talks about existing of a relationship. So if your null hypothesis is rejected, okay, your alternate hypothesis will be accepted. The simple question, a very simple question, what will happen if one hypothesis gets rejected, other will be accepted? Is it clear? I hope all those who had little bit of confusion, it's clear with them. Let's go to question number 3 now. Question number 3 talks about which of the following research formats focuses on hypothesis testing and generalizations. So we are talking about what? We are talking about research format, okay? We are talking about hypothesis testing and generalizations. It means it is basically called as what? The statements. Mahima, research hypothesis depends upon the study of research. So what type of research you are doing? So if you are trying to find out a negative relationship, your research hypothesis will be called as what? Null. If you are trying to find out the positive relationship, your research hypothesis will be alternate. Is it clear? So research hypothesis can be null, can be alternate, depending upon your research analysis of that particular study. So what you are trying to prove? Are you trying to prove a negative relationship, or you're trying to prove a positive relationship? Based on that, your research hypothesis will be framed. Okay, fine. Yes, so we were talking about which of the research formats focuses on research hypothesis testing and generalization. So basically it is talking about what? Experimental research, or it is talking about intervention based research, or it is talking about phenomenal and narrative research, or it is talking about case study research. I hope my voice is very clear to everyone. We are talking about what? We are talking about research formats. So the research format focuses on hypothesis testing and generalization. Okay, so is it which type of research? Experimental, ex post facto, intervention, phenomenal, or case study research? Okay, so let's see question number 3, everyone. There is no answer yet for question 3. Okay, fine. So we are getting question number 3's answer. Okay, students have started answering question number 3. Others also. Okay, there is a confusion with the answer. Fine, let's see. Now here let's see the answer first, and then we will go for the explanation. Okay, we are talking about hypothesis testing and generalization. So testing of the hypothesis, basically it takes place in experimental research. Now why, how, let's have an understanding. See, when we talk about intervention, you had 4 options. You had experimental, intervention, phenomenal, and case study. So basically case study is an intensive deep study. So that is not a question, that is not you all will be your answer. So let's see why intervention won't be an answer. So intervention, it means you're taking action. It's like in your action research, basically, which is in order to prove a immediate solution. So intervention will definitely not be your answer. Narrative researches focuses on experiences, but here our question was what? Our question was about testing and generalization. So obviously it will be a part of what? It will be a part of experimental research. Why? Because under experimental research we try to conduct a cause and effect relationship with, which is with the help of what? With the help of an experiment. Ex facto research, it basically talks about what? It explains the uh, experimental research which may not be true, okay, but it is a part of an experiment. So in both this research we will try to get an hypothesis testing and generalization. Okay, so right answer for the question number 3 is option number A, that is experimental and ex post facto research. Okay, now coming to question number 4, which of the following is the main feature of qualitative research? So we are talking about what? We are talking about qualitative research. Okay, so qualitative research, what is the main feature? Whether it is avoiding positivism or subscribing to the pre-existing categories, collecting of data, or using the empirical methods of data analysis. So you should know, here you should have a knowledge about positivism, post-positivism and qualitative research. In order to answer this question, you should know about this all things. So let's see how many of you are able to answer this question. Okay. So I hope everyone has read the question very clearly. Which of the following talks about qualitative research, a feature of qualitative research? Okay, so let's see. Shrinu, I hope you are there. Your answers are stopped. So, as I said, in order to answer this question, you need to have the knowledge about positivism and post-positivism. See, what is positivism? Positivism is that research or approach which believes in reality. It means it is more into quantification, that is quantitative research, which talks about objectivity, which talks about intuitions, which talks about scientific study. Okay. Post positivism is the one which believes in the creation of knowledge with the help of theories, with the help of subjectivity, and which is based on experience. So, our question basically was, which of the following is the main feature of qualitative research? Qualitative. So, it avoids positivism, assumptions, and data analysis. See, categories, it is subscribing to the categories. Yes, data collects data in numerical form. Now here, if it depends upon what type of qualitative research you are taking and using empirical data. So here it, all these three things are not specifying the qualitative research, are not supporting qualitative research. It is only about avoiding positivism. It means avoiding objectivity and getting into subjectivity. So yes, the right answer is option number A, that is avoid positivism, positivistic assumptions and data analysis. Okay, now coming to question number 5, everyone. Question number 5 is talking about participation observation is a part of what? So participative observation, is it philosophical research? Is it mentalist theory of language? Is it the mathematical research, or is it ethnographic research? We are talking about participation observation. So when we talk about participation as a part of observation, it comes under what? Does it comes under philosophical research? Does it comes under mentalist theory of language? Or is it talking about mathematical research? Or is it talking about ethnographic research? So which research it is more focused on? So let's see. Question number 5. How many of you are able to answer question number 5? Sorry. Yes, so let's see. Question number 5 is talking about what? Okay, Surbi has started answering. Fine. I hope any doubt, any concerns, do get into touch so that I can explain you your doubts and queries. Your participation, yes, there are so yes, very good. Participation is a part of what? Ethnographic research. I have taken some more questions on ethnographic research with the help of examples also. So it will help you to understand clearly. So basically, what is ethnographic research? It is a research which is based on a study related to the society, to the culture, to the group, with respect to what? With respect to observation method. So it is basically sharing the experience of the specific subjects. Okay. Now, coming to question number 6. Now, question number 6 is on the topic of plagiarism. So, let's see now what is plagiarism. Direct question. It is asking you a direct question. Plagiarism in research is called as what? Is it called as creative use of previous data? Is it called as copying unpurposely and making use of it? Is it quoting someone and citing him or her? Or is it referring the previous data and working on new objectives? So what do you mean by, the question is very clear. The question is talking about plagiarism in research. What do you mean by plagiarism in research? What is plagiarism? So it's basically talking about what? It is talking about plagiarism. So what are you supposed to define plagiarism as? Okay, question number 6, everyone, on the screen. So you can answer question number 6. The simple question. Sorry. Yeah, it is simply asking the meaning of plagiarism. Students have already started with the answers. Okay, let us see. So yes, plagiarism, very very correct. Those who have answered, plagiarism is nothing but copying. It means it is really an unhonest way. So it is something where you are taking the content from someone and not in an honest way. I hope this is very clear. So it is not of creative use, it is not of quoting someone, it is not of referring the data, but it is copying the content, and it is called as what? It is called as plagiarism. Okay. So now let's see next question. Next question is, now yes, even this question I have repeated, but I have changed the question so that you can able to answer. I have twisted the question. So any numerical value which is computed from population. So I'm talking about what? I'm talking about population. So any numerical value which is computed from the population, is it called as a sampling error? Is it called as the parameter? Is it called as bias? Or is it called as statistics? What it is known as? Any numerical value which is basically talking about what? It is talking about a numerical value which is computed from population. So what it is? See, the entire week I have repeated this type of questions. So just to give you an idea about the question very clearly to the students. So any idea about the any numerical value which is computed from population. Numerical value. Yesterday also I have taken this question. I have given you a proper hint. A numerical value which is computed from the population, is it called as sampling error? Is it called as parameter? Is it called as bias? Or is it called as statistics? Rasmita, you were there for the lectures. So this I have explained you very well. Okay, it is talking about numerical value of population. So the numerical value of population is always called as what? It's called as parameter. If you remember, I have purposely brought this diagram so that you can recall again. If it is for population, it is called as what? It is called as parameter. If it is for sample, it is called as statistics. If it is for the entire material, so it is called as the sampling frame. If it is for the methodology, it is called as sampling design. The question was very simple. The numerical value for population, numerical value. See why it will be sampling error. It is just asking that for a population, what type of numerical value you will be using. So it is nothing but it is called as what? It is called as parameter. Okay. Everyone went wrong. No one gave me the right answer. And some of the students are regular for this MCQ series. So I hope it is very clear with everyone. Numerical value is called as what? Is called as parameter for population. Is it clear? Okay. Coming to question number 8. Now, question number 8 is talking about diagnostic evaluation. So see, actually this question is a combination of teaching aptitude and research aptitude. So they have taken one of the method is diagnostic, okay, and they have given you an example. So if we are talking about diagnostic evaluation, what does it indicate? Does it indicate the student's performance at the beginning? Does it indicate the cause and remedies? Does it indicate degree of achievement? Or does it indicate learning progress? So what exactly will be the diagnostic evaluation which is talking about this following examples? So will it be students' performance? Will it be its cause and remedies? Will it be the degree of achievement? Will it be the learning progress and failure after instructions? So what exactly it is called as? It is known as what? From the diagnostic evaluation, it will be called as what? So let's see, a combination of teaching aptitude, a combination of research aptitude. So this both will be known as what? Okay. So let's see how many of you are able to answer the question very clearly. It is B. Okay, fine. Rashmita has started answering. Okay. Others, yes, I'll just wait. Riyasat, actually my throat is not well, so maybe I am not able to raise my pitch, but I hope now. See, I've just kept the mic very close to me, so that just for some days, no, I'm just having this bad throat, so sorry for that. I hope now it is clear. I've just taken the mic very close to my voice. Fine. So diagnostic evaluation ascertains what? Does it talks about students' performance? Okay. Does it talks about cause and remedy? Does it talks about degree of achievement or learning progress? Now see, if you know the meaning of the word diagnostic, this answer will be very easy to identify. Okay. So if I'm talking about diagnostic, it means that it talks about cause and remedies. It is talking about what? It is talking about cause and remedy. Okay. So cause and remedy is nothing but it is a part of what? It is a part of diagnostic evaluation. So you come to know the cause also. You come to know the remedy also, with respect to what? With respect to your the problems and instructions. Okay. Many of you said A, but students' performance is not diagnostic. You're diagnosing it. It means you're finding out the root cause and you're finding out the remedy also. So the right option will be your option number B, that is cause and remedy of persistent learning problems during instructions. Okay, Riyasat, I'll just keep my mic closed. I understood now. So it will be better for you. Okay. Now, we are talking about what? We are talking about critical language testing is a research report. Critical language testing in a research will be called as what? So, if we are talking about critical language research, it will be testing, whether it will be evaluating the stylist characteristics, whether it is critiquing the ideology, or it is observing the gender role. Critical language testing in research. Now what do you mean by the term critical language testing in research? So critical language testing in research is a report of what? Is it testing the language from ethical point of view? See, please make it very simple. Do not complicate yourself. You should not feel that these questions are completely difficult. It is just simply asking critical language means what in research. So whether it is testing the language from ethical point of view, whether it is evaluating the characteristics, whether it is criticizing the ideology, or it is observing the gender role. I'm sorry, this first question, fine, it is with the answer. The PPTs are little bit upside down, I guess. Okay, no problem. So the lucky draw is a method. So here they have given an example. So this question is based on what? This question is based on sampling. So lucky draw is one of the method of drawing and what? So is it an independent sample? Is it a structured sample? Is it a non-random sample, or is it a random sample? So all the students who have attended the class in this week, we have done one question on sampling, if you remember. So sampling is basically divided into two parts. One is probability and next is non-probability. Okay, so let me tell you, any students who are not aware, non-probability sampling is also called as non-random sampling. So please keep this in mind. The students who are not aware, so non-probability sampling is also called as non-random sampling. But here, as Shrinu, yes Shrinu, very good, the lucky draw method. So when we pick up a lucky draw, so this lucky draw indicates which type of sample. It is a random sample. It means any number in the lucky draw gets picked up, and that is called as what? Random sample. Yes. So question number 1 is clear. In case if we have little bit extra time, yesterday's 5 questions were left, so we will be doing that 5 questions also. Okay, coming to question number 2. Question number 2 talks about, in research, reliability is that quality of a measurement procedure which provides what? So if you remember, this question is on characteristics of research. So reliability is what? Accuracy, repeatability, punctuality, accuracy, speed, or speed and repeatability. So when we talk about reliability is one of the quality in research. Now this quality is called as what? Is it called as accuracy and repeatability? Is it called as punctuality and accuracy? Is it called as accuracy and speed? Or is it called as speed and repeatability? So now please answer the question. The question is in front of you. The question is from the topic research characteristics, and they have taken one characteristic, that is reliability. Okay, so let's see reliability is what. So when we talk about reliability, reliability basically indicates, there is no answer yet for this question. So reliability indicates accuracy and repeatability. Now what is this repeatability in research? Okay, Shrinu, the answer is not punctuality and accuracy. The answer is basically accuracy and repeatability. So I'll explain you what exactly it means. It says that repeatability, it means a retest. So when you want to come closer to the conclusion, and when there is no surety, so what do is that you retest the measurement so that it comes out with the results comes out with a successive measurement which can be carried out in the conditions of measurement. So basically repeatability is retest. So you're doing retest in order to understand that the results are successive. So yes, question number Jayarani, yes, the right answer is given by her, accuracy and repeatability. And why it is the right answer, I have explained you that also. Okay, now let's go to the third question. Third question is also an example, a very simple example, which states that a pilot study is called as what? What do you mean by pilot study? So pilot study is descriptive, pilot study is feasibility, pilot study is correlation, or pilot study is explanatory study. So let me tell you what is pilot study. In order to go for a full-fledged project, a proper project, and if you want to get a surety that okay, your project is going to work out, you do a pilot study. So basically a pilot study is called as what? Is it a descriptive? Is it a feasibility study? Is it a correlation? or is it explanatory? Okay, question number 3. Yes, we started getting answered. Okay, very good, Sangram. Yes. So pilot study is basically called as feasibility study. So what is feasibility study? Feasibility is a study which is done before the main study in order to answer the question, can this study be done? So if you have lot of questions regarding your research, if you are not able to understand whether this research is going to work or not, you can take a smaller study that is called as pilot study. So pilot study is also called, the second name for pilot study is also called as what? It is also known as feasibility study. Fine. Yes. Question number 3. Very good. Yeah. Question number 3 is answer number B. Yes. Okay. Let's go for now question number 4. Now question number 4 talks about in experimental research. Okay. Base study, the observations derived from which of the following variables are considered for statistical analysis. So when we talk about experimental research, so in experimental research, the observation which is based or which is derived from statistical analysis, it will be called as what? Independent variable, dependent variable, or it is moderator variable, or it is control variable. So the study is, or the research is experimental research. The variables here are statistical analysis. It is used for what? Independent, dependent, moderator, or control variable. So what will be the right answer for experimental research? Let's see. What will be the right answer for experimental research? Studies which are based on the observation which is derived from the statistical analysis. Okay, so we have started getting answer. So let's see. Now see over here, we are talking about experimental research. Sangram, I'll just explain you experimental research, and we are talking about variable which is statistical analysis. Now see, variable, no, these variables are dependent. So based on the certain changes, based on the cause, you can see the effect on the statistics. So here, see, everyone is saying it is independent variable. No, the statistical analysis will depend upon the cause. So according to the cause, the effect will be seen on statistical analysis. So basically here the right answer will be dependent variable and not independent variable. The right answer will be dependent variable. Yes, good. And why? That's what also I have explained you, why the question will be part of what? Dependent variable. Okay, now yes, yesterday also we did one example out of this. Today also we have brought an example. From the following list, you have to tell which are non-probability sampling. So we did just now, no, sampling is divided into two types, probability and non-probability. So now we are talking about what? We are talking about non-probability. So they have given you the list, that is simple random, dimensional sampling, snowball sampling, cluster sampling, quota sampling, stratified sampling. So from which of this following the list belongs to non-probability sampling? So what is non-probability sampling from the given below? So that is it is from the given A, B, C, D, D, E, F. So what we will take as non-probability over here? Non-probability, is it what? Option number A? Is it option number B? Is it option number C? Or it is option number D? You have to select. Okay, fifth question is option number D. Fine. Sangram, I hope you have understood the previous mistake which you have done. Okay, previous question. So let's see. Yes, let's see the answer. Yes, very good. That is, we are talking about what? We are talking about non-probability. So under non-probability, we have dimensional sampling. So all those who do not know, please remember dimensional sampling is also called as quota sampling. Now what is quota? It is just an extension of dimension. So dimension and quota are a type of what? Non-probability sampling. Okay. Yes, then we have snowball. Snowball sampling, as you all know, it is a network sampling. And then we have quota sampling. Quota and dimensions comes under one only. It is just an extension. Okay. So yes, the right answer is option number D. Shrinu, just correct your answer. Hamidullah, I guess you also understood it very correctly. Fine. Yes, very correct. Okay. Now, a very easy question. I'm doing this with you every day since last 5 days. So the conceptual framework in which research is conducted. So when we talk about the conceptual framework in which research is conducted, it is known as what? Is it known as synopsis research? Sorry. Is it known as research design? Is it known as research hypothesis? Or is it known as research paradigm? What is the meaning of paradigm? Paradigm is nothing but pattern. So the conceptual framework in which research is conducted, it is what? Synopsis, research design, research hypothesis, or paradigm. You are supposed to answer the conceptual framework is called as what? Okay, the answers are given in front of you. Let's see how many. Yes, okay. We have started getting answers. Okay, great. So research design is nothing but a framework in which research is conducted. So this research design tells you all the requirement which are needed for a research. So what is a technical word which is used for that? It is called as research design. Okay, very good. So question number 6 is done. Let's move to question number 7. Now in case if anyone is having doubt still in research design, so research design, as I said, it is nothing but a framework which talks about methods and techniques in order to carry the research with result to handle the research problem. So it is basically, it will tell you the framework, what type of problem you have and what will be your solution. So that is called as research design. And as I said, research paradigm. Paradigm is nothing but a pattern. So like for example, the scientific method. So in this we have a pattern, like for example, we have a views, we have the concepts, a traditional concept, empirical concept, quantitative concept, how you carry out your research pattern. Fine. Okay. So let's go now to question number 7. Question number 7, I have already given you a hint. I have explained you. So I think you should not take much time to answer question number 7, and that also very correctly. So let's see. Snowball sampling is the process of selecting a sample through what? Network, group, snowball, computer programs. So when we are talking about snowball sampling, what is snowball sampling? Snowball sampling is something, is it called as the network, is it called as the group, or is it called as the snowball, or is it called as the computer program? What exactly this snowball sampling is? Okay, very good. Yes, answers have started coming in for question number 7. So let's see. Question number 7. Yes, how many of you others also? Yes, so I have already given you a hint. Snowball is nothing but networks. So like for example, if you remember, I have given you a lot of examples. Marketing chains. So if you want to sell a product and you have a chains of marketing, so that comes under what? It comes under snowball. Yes, very good. Almost everyone is cleared with the answer now. Okay. Now, next, this question we have done, but not exactly same. I have twisted the question. So read the question carefully and then come to the answer. Research design. Just now we did a concept of research design. Research design that needs to collect factual information on a continuous basis. So when we talk about a design which is used in research, where we are collecting the information on a continuous basis, is called as what? Is it a longitudinal research? Is it a pre and post study research? Is it a cross-sectional research? Or is it a double control research? Question number 8, everyone. Research design needs to collect factual information, but on a continuous basis. Okay, I hope this is question number 8 is going on. So just please put your question number so that it is very clear which question you are answering. Sorry. So research design that needs to collect factual information with respect to a continuous study. So is it called as longitudinal study? Is it called as pre-post study? Is it called as cross-sectional or double? Okay, Sangram has already answered, others also. Yes, very good. So it is longitudinal study. Why? Because the research is done on the continuous basis. So maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years. So if you're doing a research on this on the continuous basis, it will be called as what? It will be called as longitudinal study. Okay. Now, yes, let's go to another easy question, but make sure that you're reading the question very well and answering. A tentative proposition with a tentative proposition with unknown validity that specifies the relation between two or more variables. So they have asked, what is this called as? Is this called as research problem? Is it called as research proposal? Is it called as research design? Or it is known as research hypothesis? What is a tentative proposition with unknown validity that specify a relation between two or more variables? It's called as. So is it known as research problem? Is it known as research proposal? Is it known as research design? Or is it known as research hypothesis? What it will be known as? So let's see. Option number A, option number B, option number C, or option number D goes on. Okay. So yes, very clear. So you have to just read this part of the statement. So the question is only this. What is the tentative proposition called as? So the tentative proposition is called as what? It is called as research hypothesis. Okay. A very easy question, but they have, they have just confused the question. The question is confused with unknown, validity, relationship. So you just have to read one statement, a tentative proposition. So what is a tentative proposition called as? A tentative proposition is called as research hypothesis. Yes, Nisha, very good morning. Okay. Now let's go to question number 10, everyone. Question number 10 talks about in which type of qualitative research. Sir, see here, this is the way you study the question in your exams also. You have to highlight the keywords. So when we are talking about research, here they have given qualitative research. It is basically to describe individual stories of people. So what it will be called as? Will it be called as ethnography? Will it be called as grounded theory? Will it be called as symbolic interaction? Or will it be called as narrative research? So which type of qualitative research we are talking about? Stories to describe the life of the people. Okay, so let's see. Question number 10. Okay, we have started getting answer. So yes, don't get confused over here. See, qualitative research they have said, okay, but what they have said that individual stories are explored in the description. So description is nothing but called as what? Narration. So it is nothing but it is called as narrative research. Yes. Question number 10, very correct. Question number 10 is option number D. Yes. Okay. Now a little bit of time constraint. I couldn't convert these questions into Hindi, but I'll just try to make it easy in simple explanation. Yes, Sangram, ethnography study is the study of culture. I have one more question on ethnography. It will come in the next slides. Okay. So let's first complete this and we'll see one more question on the same topic but with a different question. Okay. So we are talking about concepts are called as dash in research. So what is concepts known as in research? Whether it is a guide, tools, methods or variable. You're supposed to answer what are the concepts known as in research. So concepts are dash of research. So whether it is a guide, whether it is a tool, whether it is a method or whether it is a variable. So what it will be known as? Concepts will be called as what? Okay, question number 11. Fine. Yes, we have started getting answer. So yes, concepts in research. Concepts are called as tools in research. So yes, tools, it means an equipments. Tools, it means a methodology which is used in research. Yes, very correct. Okay. Now see this the question. We did a question on longitudinal research, but how this question can come in different form. So what does longitudinal research approach actually deal with? So it's a very straight question. We are talking about longitudinal research. So longitudinal research is actually called as long-term research. Is it a short-term research? Is it a horizontal research, or none of the above? It's very easy to understand. Only thing is, I've just given a type of question. Yes, question number 12, everyone. So question 12 can be based, yes, a very easy question, but just given a statement that if it comes longitudinal, you should know. Yes, very good. Longitudinal research is also called as long-term research. Yes, great. Okay. Now let's move to, yes, the answer is option number A. Okay, now let's go to question number 13. Now see, the question number 13 is on quantitative research. So here it is saying that a statement of quantitative research should. So now if there is a statement based on quantitative research, what the statement should tell? It's extend the statement of purpose by specifying exactly the question the researcher will address, help the research in selecting appropriate participants, research methods, measures and materials. It specify the variables of interest, or all above. So here they have given some statements. The statement belongs to quantitative research. You have to identify that which of these statements are correct with reference to quantitative research. So whether, okay, question number, you people are missing the question number, it becomes difficult to understand. Okay, question 13, sorry. Yes. Let's see how others are answering the question. So question number 13, a statement of quantitative research is the extent of statement purpose, help the researcher specify the variables and all the above. So let's see. Yes, question number 13. Yes. So if the statement is based on the quantitative research, mostly everyone is correct with the answer. It talks about specifying exactly the question the researcher will address. Yes, it helps the researcher in selecting the participants, no doubt, the measures and material. It will specify the variable. It means all the above all the above statements are right. Okay. Now, question number 14. Now, what is question number 14 about? Question number 14 is about literature review. So let's see what the question 14 talks about. What do you need to review the existing literature review? You know very well, in order to give support to your research, we always rely on literature review. So when we talk about what do you need to review the literature review, so to make sure that you have a long list of references, because without the literature review, you could never reach the required word count to find out what is already known and to help in your general study. So what basically what do you need to review the existing literature? So the long list, or maybe the word count, or the area of interest, or general study. Question number, yes, 14. Okay, fine. I'll just clear the ink so that you can read the question very well. Yes. Okay. So let's see. So when we talk about literature review, obviously it is basically to talk about the area of interest, what is already known, or the area of interest is called as what? Is called as the existing review of literature is basically based for that. So what is already known? So question number 14, yes, the right answer is option number C. Okay. Now, even this question we have done doing it again and again, but let me tell you one thing, this is not the last question. Yesterday our 5 questions were left, so we are going to continue the class for some more time. So just make sure that you are there with us. Okay. Now we are taking about question number 15. So question number 15, what do you mean by unit of analysis? So there is a concept called as unit of analysis. So what is unit of analysis? So is it a main parameter? Is it the variable? Is it the sample? Or is it the construct? So what is called as unit of analysis? What do you mean by unit of analysis? So whether it is a main parameter, whether it is the variables, whether it is the samples, or whether it is the construct. Question number 15 we have. So let's see how many of you are answering question number 15. So for that you should know what is unit of analysis. I hope I'll just give everyone time to go through the question and come to the answer. Okay. Okay. So let's see the answer. So answer is basically main parameter. Now first of all, what is unit of analysis? Anyone who doesn't know this concept, please make a note of it, write it down, keep it somewhere so that you can revise during the time of examination. So basically when we talk about unit of analysis, it is nothing but a framework which helps to focus the study. Okay, that is, it helps to ensure that what exactly is your focus, what is your main subject, what is your entity in research. So basically what is your research about? Okay, so unit of analysis is called as what? Unit of analysis is called as focus. And why it is called as parameter? Because parameters are that population as the statistics to our sample. So obviously unit of analysis is the focus study, that is the population, and hence it is called as parameter. Is it clear? Okay, now next question onwards. No, please concentrate on question number. Yesterday during this question I think we got into some technical problem and I couldn't continue further. So we will continue from this question. We were actually into question number 10. So I had given this question as an example to everyone and you were supposed to identify the dependent variable. So let me read the question for you. We are talking about a university teacher who plans to study the effect of level of aspiration of students in terms of socio-economic background on their scholastic performance with reference to what? External testing agency. See, I have made you understand the question how to read it. So like for example, when you're talking about university teacher, so university teacher is taking the level of aspiration of students. So economic background and their performance is taken into consideration. Now you have to tell that what is the dependent variable out of this given options. Example, you have to tell me that which is dependent variable. Is it the level of aspiration? Is it the socio-economic background? Is it the scholastic performance? Or is it the term and evaluation? So what is called as what? Okay, Sangram has already answered this question. So let's check the right answer. Everyone I hope has read the answer. So let's come to the right answer. So when we talk about dependent variable, so dependent variable is the scholastic performance of the students. It means that it depends upon the socio-economic background. It depends upon the level of aspiration. Depending upon your cause, what is the effect on your performance? And hence the dependent variable is what? Scholastic performance. So as you all know, the dependent variable is called as what? Effect. The independent variable is called as the cause. So based on the cause, the dependent variable will show the impact, show the effect. Okay. Yes. Now let's come to question number 11. Just give the right question number. Okay. Because this is yesterday's question, so I have not changed the question number. Process which helps researcher to develop practical solution to address the problem quickly and efficiently. So we are talking about one process. So this process will help the researcher to develop a practical solution with respect to the problem in order to address the problem quickly and efficiently. So what this process will be called as? So PAOR or PROA, AROP or ROAP. So from the given list, okay. So if you know the acronym, what the process will be called as. So if you know the acronym, it will take 1 minute for you to answer. If you know the acronym, 1 minute it will take to answer that what exactly it is. Everyone can give me the full form quickly so that we can go ahead. What is the cycle called as? So okay, everyone is saying it is called as POAR. Some also said that yes. Very good, Junaid. It is nothing but it is plan, act, observe, reflect. Yes. So it is a very favorite question in the UGC NET examination. So yes, it is called as plan, act, observe, reflect. Very good. Yeah. Now let's go to question number 12. Question number 12 is an example. You have to tell me which type of sampling. It is based on sampling. Okay. So here the question is the sampling technique in which an interviewer is asked to interview 25 teachers, 50 public servants or 25 farmers. So this is an example. So it is basically called as what? Is it partial sampling? Is it quota sampling? Is it accidental sampling? Or is it stratified sampling? I hope I will explain you the question once again. The question says you have to find out the sampling technique. Okay. Now, yes, action research is the one which is coined by Kurt Lewin. Cyclic in nature, yes, very. But in Junaid, in research, no, this question doesn't. I mean to say it is not. If any management student, so for them this question will be a part of the management paper. Yes. Question number 12, everyone. Yes. Sampling technique where we have 25 teachers, we have 50 public servants, and we have 25 farmers. So if this is the condition, which sampling it will be called as? Whether it will be called as partial sampling, whether it will be called as quota sampling, whether it will be called as accidental sampling, or whether it will be called as stratified sampling. It will be known as what? Yes, let's see, everyone. Okay, now see, Sangram, you said that it is stratified sampling. See, in stratified sampling, no, it's a strata which is collected out of the population. So like for example, if this question is like that, in a sampling technique in which an interviewer has a population of 100 people and these 100 people have a different occupation. So the strata, the category are teachers, public servants or farmer. So if I'm putting this question, it will be called as stratified. But here I'm not talking about any strata or category. I'm just talking about a specific point, that is a quota. So I want 25 teachers, exclusively 25 teachers. I want 50 public servants and I want 25 farmers. So this is what the condition is. So it is called as what? It is called as, yes, it is called as quota sampling. Okay, okay, fine. You have realized it, it's okay, no problem. But in case if you don't know, so you have to be very careful. Okay, don't make such silly mistakes. Now, before we go ahead, I will also once again just make you understand what is partial sampling. No student has asked, but I will just help you to understand. It is a sampling, from which we take the subset, okay, from the population. So subset from the population is called as what? Is called as a spatial sampling. Spatial, you can also random way. So it can be a spatial random sampling. Is it clear? Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Now this I have explained you very well. If you still want a revision, so quota sampling is basically presenting two ways, that is controlled and uncontrolled quota. So when I say controlled, it has a specific criteria or restrictions with respect to what? With respect to the choice of samples. But if I say uncontrolled quota, it is basically what? It is basically trying to resemble the samples which are same group, which are in same nature, okay, which are in same form. So if you see my question, in case if this question they are asking you whether it is controlled or uncontrolled, so it is basically called as control. Why? Because we have given 25 teachers, 50 public servants, or 25 farmers. So we have given it very specifically. See, there are restrictions, so it will be called as what? It will be called as controlled quota. But then if it is nothing given, so we called it as what? We called it as uncontrolled. Okay, now, yes, now question number 13 now, everyone. Which of the following is not a method of research? So they have given 4 methods and they are saying that out of this, one is not a method. So historical, philosophical, observation, or experimental. Which is not a method out of them, which will not be considered as a method? So whether it is philosophical, whether it is historical, whether it is observational, or whether it is experimental. So let's see. Yes. Okay. Coming to the question. So observation is not a method of research. It is basically what? It is basically the data collection method. Something where the data is collected. Yes. Question number 13, Sangram, question number 13 is basically not philosophical. It is observation. Historical research we studied, philosophical research we studied, experimental research we studied. But the one which is not a part of a method is observation, because observation is a data collection tool. Okay. Now, yes. See, this example I was talking about. I've taken one example over here, and you have to tell me whether it is an empirical, whether it is historical, whether it is experimental, or whether it is biographical. Don't get confused, just do it very well. Okay, I'll read it for you. A researcher gathers plant samples and then randomly assigns half of the samples to photosynthesize in sunlight and other half to be kept in dark box without sunlight. Such research will be called as what? A very easy question, but you have to be very careful. You have to read the question very carefully. So here they are talking about one example where they have taken the plants. They divide the plants into 2 types. One they keep in the sunlight, another they keep it in the box. So now if I'm doing this example in research, this example will be called as what? It will be known as empirical, it will be known as historical, it will be known as experimental, or it will be called as biographical. So let's see, what is this entire process called as? See, such type of questions are very regular in the exams, where they give you the example and they tell you to find out the answer. Okay, Sangram has started with the answer. Others, come on, just be clear with this. Okay, others can also answer the question. I'll just wait so that everyone gets a chance to answer. Yes, very good. Okay, Jayarani, yes. Okay, fine. So very clear. It's very simple. As I said, what a researcher is doing? A researcher is doing an experiment to just see the plant growth. Okay, what happens to the growth of the plant with respect to sunlight or in absence of sunlight? Okay, yes, very good. Now let's go to the last question of the day. So this is the last question of the day. Gaining access into a prison to study the social and cultural norm of inmates, that is the prisoners. So this is an example. You have to tell whether it is a descriptive research, whether it is an experimental research, whether it is a case study research, or whether it is ethnography. So we are talking about gaining an access into a prison to study the social and cultural norms. Nirmal Kaur, the example was not empirical. It was an experiment conducted. Empirical is nothing but it is called as what? It is called as real life example. Okay. So let's see how many of you are able to answer this question. So this question is basically, it is talking about what? It is talking about gaining access to the prison to study the social and cultural norms. So this is nothing but it is called as ethnographic research. Okay, why? Because we are talking about what? We are talking about gaining the access to the prison to study the social and cultural. So this is basically called as what? It is basically called as ethnographic research.